Welcome to Blue Talks.
Well, when I was thinking what I'm going to speak here, at first I had one idea. When I came here, I have a different idea. But I'm similar like Corey because I also want to speak out of my heart. There is a script, but my heart tells me something else, I'm going to follow my heart. First of all, I just want to say it's an honor to be here, and it's also I'm excited to be here. The first minute I came here, I kind of like sensed this is a great atmosphere. It's not a lot of people, but this is the people who looks for the quality. And among you, I feel secure. Among you, I feel like we can relate a lot to the same stuff. You guys have a different background, but the more I hear is that we went probably in life through similar stuff. And that's why we're still trying to figure out the life, how we can live the rest of our life better than it was before. And I tend to agree that the more your mind seeking for being comfort, that is the wrong way, obviously. And what I heard that I like the most probably is get comfortable with uncomfortable. To me, that was my goal. How do I get comfortable with being uncomfortable? Because in life, whether this is about a calling, whether this is about the challenge in a business, in a different environment, but those challenges put you in that zone of being uncomfortable, insecure sometimes because of the uncertainties in life, because there is no way you can know what is going to come tomorrow, what is going to come out of this event. There is no way, and there is a possibility to fail. If we always knew what is coming, and we always knew there will be successful result, of course, that's going to raise your confidence level. And that's going to also raise your pride. And when you pride, you're arrogant. So that keeps you humble. Since you don't know, that keeps you humble as well. So anyway, we're trying to figure out the life, and I read about Jay Leno. One day he is like going through the pages of the man's journal, and he sees this man in their 50s, their 60s, and they still in a great shape. And he's like, well, for this body, to have this body like this, I would do anything. Except two things. No exercise and no diet. Otherwise, I could do anything. And if we're honest enough, I think it's we all still like to avoid pressure, avoid discomfort, avoid pain. If we can all avoid, then yeah, of course, I want to build a great business if I could avoid the uncertainty, and if I could avoid competition. Of course, I want to be playing in NFL if I could only avoid the rejection, if I could only avoid the injuries in my life. So, and then in life, it doesn't work this way. If the life would work this way, but it doesn't work this way. And you get to the point where I love to read biographies. And in biographies, you learn that we all go through the same stuff. You thought you're the only one that were rejected 1,000 times, and then you read about this successful person. Like I read recently the story of Domino's Pizza, the founder. I mean, the whole large part of his life, there was a trauma after trauma. His own mother would reject him. And then imagine this, the guy dreams to be in a college because his dream was to become an architect. So He goes for summer jobs and trying to save some money for that, and is getting closer to his goal. And then, boom, he gets to go to the ER because of some infections he got. He lost almost everything because of that, but he's still determined, I want to go to the college. So one day he goes by this postal office, and there was a Army recruiting desk. Hey, are you guys cover the college if I get into the Army? Yeah, if you get the 3 years, in return, you get the 2 years that will be paid, including the University of Michigan. That was his dream, to go there. So the long story short, he goes for 3 years, he gets this money, and then he's driving with the driver. The guy is telling him how big he is in the oil business. This is, we're talking about back then. That's many years ago. So it's like 2000 back then. That's a lot of money. So it tells him about this business opportunity that he made a lot of people rich. And he says, right now, there is also a fantastic opportunity if someone has a $500. Tom thinking, well, I do have $500. And so without thinking, without doing any research on the guy, he just like being sold right on the spot. He's investing $500. Boom, he's waiting for the whole month. Not a phone call, nothing from this guy. And it's like he's sitting on the verge of saying goodbye to his like annual income, because that's what calculate to his annual income, how much he was able to generate. And this guy shows up right on his doorstep, and he says, you know what? It's like we were like getting so close to this big money. It was never generated before. And then we just experienced the shortage of funds. If we just have these funds, we will get to the biggest reward we got ever. How much is it? $1,500. That's exactly the amount he had on his bank account. And guess what? He gives the rest of the money, $1,500. That's total $2,000, and it's gone. All of his savings, like all of his life, he struggles, and you think, how could you recover after this? There is no way you can recover, because there was a time in his life he was just like always optimistic. It's always about dreaming. It's always about like I have hope for my future. And then you would ask, Tom, do you still believe the life works for your benefit? And if you would have asked him then, he would tell you, yes, I do. Because otherwise, it's about the reaction that we were talking about before. Some people, when they get to this point, they're depressed. They feel, God, you are not fair. And if you, God, even if you are there, why would you put me in such a situation like this from the beginning, where you knew, it's not like I'm lazy, I'm working hard to get there. And then if you know this person is a crook, why would you not protect me? And people get, it's a bitterness, it's a depression. And some people, for some reason, they use the trauma to heal other people, to inspire others. That's who the Tom was. So he comes back home, and his brother working as a carpenter. And one day his brother overheard that the owner of the pizza place, local pizza place, want to sell his another spot. So he overhears that, and he goes to his brother Tom, and he says, hey, how about maybe we go together for partnership? He never thought about pizza, never. Even for 1 second, he would think about the pizzeria. And then said, sure. They put $75 together, and then $900 they get along, and they buy this pizza. So the long story short, then later he bought out Jim, his brother. In 1960, the Domino's Pizza was formed. 1967, it was formed into franchise. They were the very first pizza place that come up with the idea of the hot pizza to be delivered within 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes. And look at this guy, the biggest pizza in the whole world, what it become of his story. But if you read the rest of the story, it's amazing how much it touches people's life, and it touched my life, of course. one day I have two guys came to my business. They heard about my business. They heard about me, and usually people have to make at least an appointment. And my assistant's telling me that they were waiting for you for 3 hours, sitting in the lobby. All they asking for 10 minutes of your time. I know usually when people say 10 minutes, they don't mean 10 minutes. But if they would ask for an hour of my time, of course, they know I'm going to send them away. So that's why people say 10 minutes, because it's hard to send them away on the 10 minutes, especially if they were waiting for you for 3 hours. So I look at them and I kind of like could recognize myself many years ago when I was like this, when I was so determined. And I would even tell people, just a minute of your time. As long as you let me go through the door. And then if it works, if I got your attention, it's going to be an hour. So I kind of let him, and I'm saying, how can I help you guys? And they tell me that for the last 2 years, they're trying to build this business, which they have a great background. So both of them, they're trying to build a business. It's like a full spectrum of digital agency. So they would create the website, developer, marketing, branding, everything. And I look at their work, I see the quality. And I'm actually curious myself, why would you not be successful? Why would you not be able to sign even one good contract, except picking up like some cheap jobs of like 5,000-10,000 in gross sale? That's nothing for them, for their level. It's like, why would they always get rejected? That's their question. So they saying we're on the verge to declare a bankruptcy. So like in other words, you're like a last stop for us, and we will just drop the ball unless you give us an answer. So we just change something drastically, because nothing works. So they tell me about every book they read. They tell me about every seminar, every conference they went. So obviously I see they value education. It's not like they had the amateur expectation that they thought overnight to be successful. No, it wasn't like this. Plus they invested of their own $300,000. So it's kind of like they knew what they are doing, but still they don't know why they're at zero. Why? So I am curious as well, but kind of like cannot figure out right there on the spot. And I'm saying, guys, I really want to help you. And I'm not saying this just to send you away, but I need time to think. So how about we meet again in 3 days? So I'll send him off. In 3 days, they got back. We sit down again, and I'm like, come with a smile, and I said, I do have an answer. I actually know for sure why you guys were successful. And they kind of like, oh, wow. You could see the face expression start changing. There is a smile at least now. There is a hope. But I'm not sure, I say, if you're going to like it, what I have to say. And it's like, we don't care. I mean, we just, as long as we get the results, you will be surprised how much we're ready to work for anything. Because before they left, they also mentioned to me that got to the point where they thought to themselves, how about, because they were sending the bid for this big company, and then they said, how about we give the biggest discount possible? In other words, we know for sure we're not making a dime, we are losing money. So in other words, if the potential client getting the 2 bids, and this is so much it saves them so much money, would they not grab this deal? And he said, even after that, knowing that we're not going to make even $1, they still rejected our offer. So I'm telling them that I do have an answer. I looked them through the eyes and I said, the reason, guys, you are not successful because 2 of you guys selfish. And you have to look at their face expression as soon as I said that. What do you mean? Don't you remember when we told you that we even made the offer like we're losing money? What are you talking about? We're not like looking to be rich. It's like I don't know how to survive another month. That's what I'm trying to do. Just trying to survive, trying to make another month. And I'm saying that's exactly why I'm saying that you guys selfish. Let me ask you this question. What was going through your mind where you were calling like this potential client? So probably something like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you call, you probably thought to yourself, man, such a rich bastard. He would not even help me when I need his help. Why would you not take me when you know I'm ready to do this job and making this so cheap for you? I mean, you are the greedy person. That's like the thoughts to yourself. It's like we don't say that stuff, but that's the thoughts to yourself. And then, well, I'm going to give you this discount, greedy person, bastard. And at least after this, the whole world is going to see that you're my client. So at least next time, I don't have to kiss someone else because they will see that you are my client. Am I correct? Well, it's not exactly those words, but very similar. The point is taken. And I'm saying, like, I'm not in your field, but in order for me to help you, literally help you, I have to imagine myself in your shoes, in which I did. So I imagine myself that I have those skills, and now having your skills, I'm trying to do research on Google. Look in different companies. At first, I look at the first two companies, and I didn't see how we can improve having your skills. But then there's another company I came through, and I'm looking at their concept. I'm reading their biography of the CEO. I'm looking at the stuff they stand for, and I love it. The more I read, the more I love it. Then I see there is a lack of consistency, and I realize if I can improve their consistency, if I could do something on their website, if I could connect those dots here and here, they for sure at the end, that will increase their potential, that will maximize their profit, that bottom line, the results will be much, much greater. So naturally, I get excited with that. And now I'm saying, imagine I'm having this business, now I'm calling this guy. And this is how I want to introduce myself. I would say, I'm Victor with this Miami digital company. You probably never heard of us, and that's not surprising because we're just a regular startup right now. But here's the thing, because we're just starting this company, I have a lot of time on my hands, and I couldn't help it. I just went on your website and I started doing research. I have to tell you, I love your concept. I love what you guys do, what you stand for. I just love that old stuff. But I feel like you guys missing so much potential. And if you just hear me out for 10 minutes, I promise you there is no obligation, but you will help me to go to sleep because the last 3 days, I'm just I feel like we're connected. Like you're my brother. I just want to come and help you. Just hear me out. There's no obligation. Do you think he will turn me down? And one of them says, no, I don't think so. That's right. Why? Because everybody likes when we do think of them. Me included. I love when somebody tries to help me, when they genuinely think of me, not of themselves, that right now the refrigerator almost empty. It's like you forgot. You're like obsessed with me. You're like obsessed with me, not yourself, but with me. Nobody will turn you down if you genuinely think of me. And did you notice I didn't even offer $1 discount? So I was hoping they got my message. I didn't hear of them 3 months. 3 months later, I received a phone call, can we meet? And they want to tell me in advance, this is not about looking for your advice. They show up and they tell me successful stories. And then one of the companies that they signed the contract stood up because they saying this contract is one contract enough for us to live secure for many, many years of the one contract. This is like an Indian American TV station, big TV station. And with a smile, they said, we didn't even offer $1 discount. it was obviously they got the message. The message is, it's an old-fashioned way. We have to remember, is like when we serve others, our ability, whatever we do, or our purpose is to serve others, to add the quality to their life. And that's why I'm here, believe it or not. I had to pray this morning and to say, Lord, I want to forget about myself, how I'm going to look, how I'm going to present. I just want to add the quality to their life. And I hope you feel that same way, because that's our purpose. And with that, I know if we keep doing that, it just goes around. And that's where you feel yourself satisfied. That gives you the biggest satisfaction in your life. So thank you.